Welcome. This is an overview of starting and ending shifts at a till. Firstly, your trading week is made up of trading days. Each trading day will comprise of one or more shifts. A shift is a period of time that you wish to report on and balance your draw to. This means that for each shift, you would start with a preset amount of money in the cash drawer. At the end of the shift, you would then count up the money in the drawer and balance that against the sales that have been entered into the till for that shift. So, what procedures are required at the start and end of shifts and days? Firstly, at the start of each shift, you would obviously need to put a float of money into the cash drawer, and this can be optionally typed into the till. But repeating, this is only optional, and in fact, most customers elect not to do this. So, for the start of each shift or the start of each day, there is no procedure required. The end of each shift, or the end of each day, does require a few steps. Firstly, if there are any overrings that are required to be entered, they should be entered first. Next, you can optionally print a balance report for the shift. Then, also optionally, you can enter the draw counts, meaning the totals of all the different payment types that were in the draw can be entered into the till. Then, a difference can be displayed at the till and at the back office. Lastly, and most importantly, you would tell the till to change shift. This is a mandatory step if you have multiple shifts within a day. At the end of the last shift of the day, you don't actually have to change shift. The till system will automatically move to the next shift at the start of the next day. Okay, let's have a look at a few of these functions. We'll start with overrings. Typically, if there is an overring, the operator would print them out and put them in the cash drawer. As the manager, you would then enter those overrings using your manager override code. The best way of doing this is firstly, log in as the operator. This way, the overrings will then be attributed to the operator that has caused them. Then, looking at the overring receipts, you simply enter the transaction again, but with negative quantities. Meaning, if we had an overring of 3 beef nachos, I would type in -3 and beef nachos. You'll see that the operator does not have the privilege of doing the minus items. You as the manager then would say yes and either swipe your card or enter your manager code to authorize the overring. Then, and importantly, you must finalize the same way as the overring receipt. Typically, this would be cash. Along with overrings, you may have to do one or more stock losses. A stock loss will deduct a product from the stock on hand. This may be due to a product being dropped, or maybe a product has been returned by a customer and it is faulty. For this scenario, you would need to do both an overring and a stock loss. The overring would return any payment back to the customer, but it would return the product back to the stock system. You would then need to do a stock loss to deduct that product from the stock system with a description of the reason. Okay, now let's have a look at how to do a stock loss. You can only do a stock loss for a product that you hold in stock, meaning that you cannot do a stock loss for a non-stock product. So, to do a stock loss for one or more products, you simply sell the products as you normally would at the till, but then you finalize on the stock loss function. Let's have a look at this in action. Let's ring up a product. I'll bring up Pepsi can, and I actually wish to loss 2 of these. So I'll click the plus so I get 2 Pepsi cans. For the sake of the exercise, I'll also add another product. So now I have 3 products in all that I'm going to loss. I then go to the product menu and select the stock loss key. It prompts me to confirm my selection, and then I can enter a reason for this stock loss. For the moment, I'll just type in dropped. You'll see there my stock loss has been shown on the screen and the description is dropped. Okay, just a recap of when you would use the overring and when you would use the stock loss. If you have a sale that was entered incorrectly, this would be simply an overring. Also, if a customer returns a product that is okay, but they just wish to get a refund or a different product, that would also simply be a refund. If you drop a product or you find a product is faulty and you wish to deduct it from the stock system only, that would simply be a stock loss. The last scenario, where a customer returns a product that is faulty, that would then require both an overring for the refund plus a stock loss for the faulty product. Once I have done all my overrings and stock losses, I would then log out and log in as the manager, and then proceed to the manager menu and do my end of shift procedure. Your particular end of shift procedure may vary, but we'll go through some of the standard steps. Firstly, you may wish to enter the counted cash and other payment types into the till prior to changing shift. If you do elect to do this prior to this throughout the shift, you may wish to remove excess money from the drawer. This would be done using the drawer clearance function. So just recapping, this would be done throughout the shift as the cash in the drawer is increasing above a certain amount. This would ensure that when you do the count at the end of the shift, you are typing in the exact amount that the system thinks is in the drawer. So now we've got to the end of the shift, we go back into the manager menu and we go to enter counts. You'll see now at the top next to cash, I have a theoretical of $292.50 with $10 already being cleared out of the drawer. From here, I can enter the counts. Now the system can be set to ask for each denomination, or it can be set to just enter a total cash figure. This system is set to enter a total cash figure. We'll enter $290. And then for checks, we just hit OK for nothing. FPOS the same. MasterCard, we'll just type in 0 for each of these and let's see what the system comes back and tells me. You'll see now that it shows me a counter total of $290. It'll show that the MasterCard should be $55.50, as was the Visa, but I haven't entered that. I can go back into the enter counts and cycle through these as often as I like. Remembering that the theoretical will only be shown if your system is set to show the theoretical. At this point, I can either post and print or just post. I'll simply just post right now. Now you can see that the system is prompting me to change shift. I can either accept this or say no and do other functions prior to changing the shift. At this point, I'll say no. Now I can go back into the Manage menu and I may elect to print a balance. This system is configured to automatically ask me to change shift whenever I print a balance. I can elect to do it or not. In this case, I'll elect not to. At this point, I'll now have a printout of the till balance in my hand. I can see whether the drawer counts match the theoretical or not. And if they do not match, I can then elect to recount the money that was in the drawer. Then, if the original count was entered incorrectly, it can be entered again and corrected. When I've finished this, I simply go in and tell the system to change shift. You'll see that the prompt is telling me that we're on shift 1 and the next shift is shift 2. I'll elect to say yes. It prompts me again if I want to print the shift total again. As I've already printed the balance, I'll say no. I am now on the second shift of the day, and sales at the till can proceed. Okay, there are a few steps in that, but now let's look at the absolute minimum that you need to do at the end of the shift. The minimum you need to do is log on as the manager, go into the manager menu, and preferably select to print a balance. When you print the balance, the system will automatically prompt you to change shift. You would then say yes. You will now have a printout of the till balance and you have changed the till to the next shift. Don't forget to log out so that the operator can then log in after you to use the till. So as you see, the end of shift procedure can be very quick and very easy indeed. Lastly, let's have a look at the till balance printout and see how the entered counts show on the report. There is another video in this series that explains the till balance report in detail. However, here we'll look at the basics required to balance your till. Here is the till balance as displayed in the back office. This is the exact same information and the same format that is printed at a till printer when you select to print a till balance report. If I scroll down, you'll see at the top Most importantly, it tells me the shift that this is for. It tells me the first and last transaction date and time, which is very useful for checking. And then we have the overall balance information. You can see that we have a net total of $425, and all the way down at the bottom we have a draw total of 403. The next area is the area of interest for us. It shows us the cash and the credit cards, plus it shows us the theoretical amounts and the counted amounts. You can see in the lower part of this, it shows a draw difference of being $2.50 under. And looking at the detail, I can see that that $2.50 was made of cash. Further down this report, I have summary information of account details showing me the charge, the payments, and the balance. It also shows me bonus point summary, and quite importantly, it will show me the number of no sales, cancelled sales, returns, and the number of orders and the average order. Then I have the tax details. Then optionally at the bottom, it may print out sales summaries based on sort types or product types. This has been an overview of starting and ending shifts at a till.